Hi everybody, I'm Blair. I'm a Master Support player in League of Legends, and today is the official pre-release day of Naafiri, the newest League of Legends champion. In this video, we'll be discussing everything that we know so far. We won't make this long. I will list down 3 bullet points that we already know about her lore and her official play kit, and then after that, we'll be discussing every single skill that we already know and what we think will be the change in meta that's going to happen. Well, number 1, we know that Naafiri is a Mid Laner Assassin Champion who specializes in killing her enemies, especially when they're alone, just like any other Assassin Champions out there, of course. Number 2, we know that she's a Darkin. However, instead of being sealed in a weapon just like any other Darkins that we already know, Naafiri is instead sealed to the pack, or like the group of wolves or hounds that she's with. And then number 3, we know how all of her skills work, and we're gonna discuss every single skill that she has. Her passive is called We Are More. The passive creates a packmate after an amount of time that will attack enemies that she targets. Hitting champions with attacks and skills make her passive cooldown be quicker. Speaking of her packmates, we already know that her packmates can block skill shots. Another interesting thing to note is that Nico can actually transform into a packmate. So, if you have a Naafiri and a Nico as your opponent, make sure to start counting. Next skill is her Q, which is called Darken Dagger. She hurls blades, dealing physical damage and bleed for a few seconds. This skill has 2 charges, and if she manages to hit the skill in an enemy that's already bleeding, she will instead deal the remaining bleed damage plus additional physical damage. Something that we don't know yet is if the bleed came from another champion, let's say Darius, will the effect be the same? We'll figure that out. Another thing is whenever she hits her Q, her packmates will all leap to the first target hit, prioritizing champions of course, meaning it will be a burst of damage. Her W is called Hound's Pursuit. This is her gap closer skill, where she dashes at an enemy dealing physical damage and briefly slowing the target. This skill is blockable, meaning if you get targeted by this skill but another teammate blocks the line of sight, Naafiri will instead jump on the champion that blocked the skill line. Another thing to take note of is if Naafiri will cast the skill, she doesn't immediately jump in, meaning if you flash out the moment she already latches onto you, she will follow you there. Her E is called Eviscerate. This is another gap closer skill or potentially a mobility skill. Naafiri surges forward, dashing and dealing physical damage to enemies she passes through. Using this skill will also bring all of the packmates along with her. It's also very important to note that she can use this to jump on thin walls, such as the wall from the mid-river and many other thin walls around the rift. And finally, her ultimate skill is called the Call of the Pack. It's a buff that would empower Naafiri and her packmates and will also double the number of packmates. She gains additional movement speed, vision, and shield once she hits champion. It's very important to note that she refreshes the ultimate effects on the first champion takedown, meaning your job as Naafiri is to assassinate one and try to get the next one if possible. Here are some combos that you can also do to maximize Naafiri's kit. Knowing all of these things, I personally think as an enchanter player as a player who enjoys support champions, enchanters mainly, I think Naafiri's kit is very easy to understand even for beginners or those who want to start trying out how to play assassins. Is she someone that I don't want to go up against as an enchanter support main? Not really. However, I do want to figure out how to counter her specifically. Like for example, we know that Thresh and Leona can potentially be easily countered by Janna's Tornado. I'm not sure if the same reaction will happen using Janna's Tornado against Naafiri's W. Another one is Miliu's Q. I'm not sure if it will have the same effect towards Naafiri's W. So that one, I'm really excited to figure out if ever. I also don't think that there will be significant changes in the current meta, or like how people play and how people select. Once Naafiri gets officially released, there will definitely be a learning curve. You know how people will always say that the champion is too OP, but it's not because they're OP, it's just because they don't know how to play against her. But definitely once people adjusted already, I don't think it's going to be a big problem. Another thing to take note of is Naafiri's damage, all of it comes from AD. And as you guys know, it's quite easy to counter a champion or a team comp that has all AD, for example, and it does happen a lot. So I don't think Naafiri will be that hard to counter in terms of team composition. I'm pretty sure people will be able to adapt quickly, and once that happens, we're just back to normal, basically. How about you? What do you think of Naafiri? Do you think she's too OP? Do you think she's going to be so strong? Do you think you love her? Let me know in the comment section down below. And that's it for this video. If you like this video or you find it entertaining or helpful, make sure to leave a like, or you can also subscribe to my channel, please do. Don't ever feel like you're wasting your time for resting, cause you're not. Don't be the next clown to go down, and as always, remember to always choose kindness. See you on the next video. Bye!